Hello, Special Shades of Colors friends, on our Facebook page. That Dewana Golden has just been fabulous at keeping it updated and keeping you a circle of people who go through the same things as you do. I haven't posted very many videos. I'm hoping to make that change to where I will commit to myself to helping you. So today what I wanted to kind to speak on was just an IEP is what's coming to my head. A specific IEP situation that we ran into several years ago. Tyler was in preschool, and Tyler is our son who's fixing to be 15. He has multiple disabilities. One of them, primary, being Down syndrome. He also has autism, which seems like the autism seems to override the Down syndrome as far as like behaviors and stuff like that. Communication, it really seems to hinder where he could have been with Down syndrome. And then he also has oppositional defiant disorder, and he has a tic disorder. Oppositional defiant disorder basically just means that he kind of wants what he wants when he wants it, and if he doesn't get what he wants, then he's going to show his anger and stuff. So he's just more defiant. Also, like if you wanted to like try to go to the bathroom and he doesn't want to, you got to pick your battles basically. And then the tic disorder is kind of like that only seems to come out more when he's more agitated, aggravated, or needs to escape someplace from someplace. Probably partly due to the autism. If he's overstimulated, you might see him start ticking a lot more, and especially when he's really aggravated, that might be an opportunity to ask him if he needs to leave the room, to go somewhere else, to get away from the crowd. But anyway, like I said, he has those 4 different diagnoses. And long time ago, like I said, he's 15 now, but when he was in preschool, he was 3-4 years old. And we were very lucky that our school district actually had a preschool at that time. And it was a wonderful one. And the teachers and the aides in there were so good with Tyler, and the other students were really good with Tyler as well. They actually was helping teach the other kids how to use simple sign so that they could communicate with Tyler, as well as trying to teach Tyler to speak his words as well, just to kind of put it all in together. So anyway, all the time I always got good progress reports and how good Tyler was doing, and all this good information, and making us glad that we put him in preschool and all that kind of stuff, because it was very enrichment and good for him. And it was socializing for him as well, too, to be amongst them children of his own age with his peers. We've seen several kids actually take Tyler over. We called them little mother hens. So we had a few girls in the class who liked to do that, and he had a couple little buddies in there, too. So anyway, we got ready to do our IEP meeting for that year. It was when he was 3. And he would be needing to go for 2nd year of preschool. And I had just pulled in a new director of special education who was actually going to different schools, because we were a very, very small school. And so she visited small schools, and she was the director of education. Well, she was new, and she wasn't there when we first began putting Tyler in the program. And she wanted to not let Tyler participate in preschool anymore. She wanted to send him to a state school for preschoolers that was more for preschoolers, down probably about a good 40 minutes from our home. Now, the school that he was at the time was only 5 minutes from home, and they wanted to put him on a bus and send him 40 more minutes down the road. The reason they told me that is because they felt that Tyler wasn't making progress in the classroom. Well, this is where Mama Bear showed her teeth. And I told him, I said, that doesn't make any sense, because all I get is progress reports. I can show them to you, where every time the goals are there, there's P's for progress. every month there's progress, progress, progress. So how can you tell me he's not making progress? You know, and the goal for our goals and our IEPs is for them to meet those goals. And Tyler was meeting his goals. So this made no sense to me at all. Well, my husband was not with me either that day. It was just me. I've never usually encountered any problems in any meetings like this. And they were, the director of special ed was really trying to urge me to sign that plan and the IEP plan. And I was like, no, first off, my husband isn't here. And I do not agree with what you're suggesting. And I think we need to do some more investigations on this so that I can show you that he is thriving well in the preschool. As well, his teacher wanted him to stay too. She actually stood up and told him that, hey, you know, not only are we being able to teach Tyler and help him, but Tyler's teaching the kids and teaching her. So, you know, it's a learning experience all the way around. So anyway, we did not sign that IEP, and I got wind that director of special ed was actually going to be leaving. So I actually had the date until August before I actually had to sign an IEP, because that's when his plan came due for the next year around. They were just trying to get ahead before school started. So I drug it out, and I did investigations and all that kind of stuff. And I talked to the principal and everything. And let me tell you, the principal at that time told me in a meeting, because I told him my concerns and my issues with that meeting. He was not present for that meeting. So anyway, I let him know my concerns, kind of what I've told you. And I think there was other things too. But this principal actually informed me, well, to be honest with you, Tyler is receiving these services, and the school is having to pay for that. Side note, the school is responsible for his education. Anyway, they are having to provide that, and they said that there was other students in the community where they were kind of wanting their kid to be able to do that. I guess other kids maybe were kind of coming up in the community with the similar kind of issues, and that because Tyler was in there getting it, they were wanting it too. And so therefore they told me there just wasn't enough funds for that. Okay, big uh-oh on your behalf, Mr. Principal. You cannot base money on education like that. So there's actually a specific area in a school that has funding for the special ed department. So anyway, long story short, that special ed director was gone. She actually left. We re-met together. My husband was with me at the time, and it was the smoothest glass IEP. Tyler got to stay at his preschool that he was at, which was actually going to be his elementary school too. So he was with his peers that he was going to be with during that time being. And we couldn't have been happier. So definitely do know your rights for IEPs, because sometimes they will be stepped on, and you need to know how to protect your child. So that was just my story of how, of an IEP meeting. It was actually probably the only time I've ever encountered an IEP that I was kind of had to bring out mama bear instincts. Otherwise, they've usually always been all right. So, but anyway, I hope this is helpful to some parents. And like I said, do your research for your IEPs for your kiddo. You are their voice. You are their advocate. Don't be afraid to stand up for what's right and what your child deserves. All right, have a blessed day.